Here I am, in the place to be. Mr. K and B, you can't fuck with me. Extra sexy, extraordinary. Palms are hairy, your mama pop.
What up, y'all? Welcome. I am K and B, the Sexy Ninja for Cplus Studios, and welcome to the Sexy Ninja Cast. It's dropping every Sunday. And this episode is brought to you by Crazy Hoodiez with a Z. Crazy Hoodiez. All designs by Big Daddy. Also, too, you should go check out Big Daddy Forever. Big Daddy, a Cplus Studios channel, and you can get that Big Daddy Forever podcast. If you're subscribed to the Cplus feed, you will get that podcast as well. Whatever you're listening on, Apple, Spotify, whatever you listen to podcasts on, that's where you go. Or unless you're strictly subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can get those as well. But also go show some love and go click and subscribe and get all the notifications on Big Daddy of Cplus Studios channel, so you can get yourself some Big Daddy Forever in your ears. Here or there, you need some Big Daddy in your life. That's right. If you're new to the Sexy Ninja Cast, the show is about me and my interests and my loves and my hobbies. The show is broken down in three segments. We have this part of the show, the opening, we have the news, and we have the main event, the main attraction, why you're here. And once again, I have a special guest, Magnificent T. It was a great conversation. It was a very, he opened up about a few things, especially with the group Operation Underground. You'll get to hear that and listen to that. It's a great interview. I really did enjoy it, and I can't wait to have him back on. But right now, what I learned from my week. So, this week was rough. Was very rough. Every week is rough. Rough. No, I'm just joking. It wasn't rough at all. The week prior, when I was sick, whoa, if you guys seen the Juggalo vlog I did for Low Key, I was sick as a dog. The last podcast I dropped, I was still sick. But now I feel better. I feel great. I feel like taking on the world, man. I feel like taking on the world. And I've been watching a ton of wrestling. And it's been getting me, like, motivated to, like, get up off my ass and not go to the fridge and eat a donut. Get off my ass and go walk outside, get some sweat going, you know. But no, I just been trying really hard to learn new things and read new things, kind of get outside my bubble. Because my bubble, you can see my bubble. The bubble's big. And the bubble's full of stuff that I love. But there's also stuff that I never really taken interest to, that I'm learning, you know, and it's pretty cool. Like, my wife always gives me crap because pretty much my books are all Star Wars, and of course I got my comic books. Here's a stack I'm reading this week, and my wrestling biographies, and on my Audible it's wrestling biographies or, you know, other cool stuff. But I try to get out of that bubble. Like, I was listening to Dusty Rhodes' autobiography and watching documentaries about wrestling, and my wife's like, you need to try something different. And I'm like what? You know, like, I like my bubble. So I went and I got off Audible some self-help books, like Kevin Hart's book. And I also had Matthew McConaughey's Greenlight, and I listened to those and listening to them. And it's something like self-help books. I really don't like. It was never really that an interest to me to do self-help books or anything like that, because I'm like, the person I need to listen to is myself. If I'm gonna get self-help, it's gonna be for me. And originally, this is a fun fact. This is why I wanted to bring this up. I originally was going to do a self-help audio book, or write a book. It was one of the two. And originally I was going to call it Building a Sexy Ninja and Being True to Yourself or something like that. I think it was, I had this idea to make this book about a self-help book, being positive, how to use your energy, how to do this and that. And I found the original cover for it, and I was like, holy crap, I remember when I was going to do this. But backtracking, listen to these self-help books, these motivational books and stuff like that. And it actually did help me mentally, like keeping the goal of moving forward, keeping that goal and structure in your mind of you need to move forward, not backward, not stay where you are. You need to go forward with your train of thought, with your thinking, with everything that's going on around you. You need to, just keep going. That you can't stop. No matter what you're doing, music, movies, podcasting, designing stuff, all this, whatever you're doing, your self-interest, your hobbies, or whatever you're trying to build to, even if it's a job that you work at, like for me, I want to move up in management. Yeah, that's been the goal, earn more money and get that experience as a leader. And my road to management has been insane because it's been a lot of this and not a lot of this. And with that, it's because I didn't move forward. I didn't move forward on a lot of things. And when my daughter came is when I kind of woke the funk up, because I was like, holy crap, I'm about to be a dad. I'm about to be responsible for another, for a little human child. I'm about to be responsible. Gotta have a roof over her head. I got my wife I gotta take care of. I got all these things. And I just kind of was like, oh, okay, well, I need to move on and move forward from my mindset of just me taking care of myself. Because when you get those ideas of my phone dropped. You gotta be selfish, but a good selfish, like I said a few weeks back. But you also have to understand there is responsibilities out there. No matter what, no matter who you are or what you're trying to do, no matter what goal you're after, or even if you're just building your family. There's a lot of people out there that I know that are just trying very hard to hone their own. They're trying to hold on, and it's okay. Keep holding on. Keep holding on, and everything will be okay. Everything will be fine, and I got you. I'm sending them positive vibes out there to you. It's going to be okay. And this week, me getting out of my bubble a little bit, it was scary. Trying the new things will always be scary. Why? Even though it's just listening to audiobooks, that self-help audiobooks that you don't even really do, but I did, because I listened and I learned things. Like, that was one of my biggest hurdles this year was like, I put myself where I'm always right. I'm never wrong. Not at all. That I was that guy for a very long time. Like, it's my way or the highway. And Big Daddy, I know it drove Big Daddy crazy because with Cplus Studios and all that, because that's what it was. And this is a funny little story because Big Daddy's doing his Big Daddy Forever podcast right now, and he's doing phenomenal. And he messaged me because he has all the access to all the stuff we do online and stuff like that. And he's like, hey, what's this fat fuck show? And it was spelled PHATFK. And I laughed so freaking hard because it was before the social event, before we got into doing this, the social event and the YouTube channel, all this stuff, before we got into all of it, there was the platform of like what we're going to do. And when we started the social event, I wanted to start a podcast of my own called Fat Fuck, PHATFK, and that was originally going to be, because I was always making fun of myself, oh, that fat fuck, all that fat fuck and this and that. And when he messaged me that, I was like, yeah, I still have the notes of what that show was supposed to be. And I'm glad I didn't do it because I told, and he's like, should I delete this? I'm like, no, it's a constant reminder that I'm not always right. And he was like, oh my God, it's a miracle. KMB said it. He's not always right. And that's the case. And you got to learn to, you're going to be learning every day. You're going to learn something no matter what it is. Even if you're just walking around and you're listening to somebody or at your job, there's reasons for everything. And there's times you just need to listen. Because when you listen, you learn something, especially about yourself. And that's one of my biggest hurdles. And admitting that I'm not always right. And also just trying something new. The next thing I want to do is I want to start hiking again. But that's just scary in general to me because I don't like going outside. But you want to know what? It's okay. I just got to get over it's not even a fear. It's just that I just don't like going outside. I like staying in my bubble. See what I did there? Bubble. Like I'm Aquaman, in Justice League. But no, those are the two books. Great books too. Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is Matthew McConaughey. You should go check it out. Kevin Hart. I just love Kevin Hart. I've always been a fan of his comedy and everything like that. There's some other books that I have lined up that are outside of my normal books that I listen to or read. But I will still be reading. I'm still reading like several books right now. I got bookmarks all over the place. But, and what's funny is like I'm reading too more. Because one, my wife was like, you have all these damn books and you need to read them. True. Two, my daughter's really not into reading as much. But lately that she's seen me reading actual books and not my comics with pictures, she's like, oh. And she picked up a book herself. And I was like, all right, I got to keep this going. Because my wife reads all the time. And I buy books. And they just sit there. So I actually picking them up and reading them and enjoying these books. And it's helping my brain, and helping my eyeballs. It's definitely like sharpening up some skills and some turns and cranks in my head. And I see the little smoke coming out. I'm like, oh, that ain't good. That ain't good. I haven't been using those muscles in a very long time. So getting out of your comfort zone and understanding like you need to listen but at the end of the day, you still gotta be you, right? Like me, I'm a sexy ninja. All right, that's what I learned this week. So, I hope you're enjoying the Sexy Ninja Cast. I hope you enjoy the interview coming up. And right now is the news. Welcome to the news. First up, Cesaro leaves WWE. Cesaro quietly left the company, and the news is breaking now, and it is very sad. Cesaro, I wish you the best over here from Cplus News. We wish Cesaro the best. The Swiss Superman, you deserved much better than what you were given at the WWE. So Cesaro leaves WWE. The story shall develop from here where Cesaro will go. Probably going to be named Claudio, if you followed him on the indies. Yes. So, next. Spider-Man No Way Home will be hitting digital March 22nd. And for you hardcore collectors of, like myself, you can own the physical copy, 4K or Blu-ray, your preference, on April 12th. That's it? No one's excited but me? Fine. Hold on. Yeah, the bigwigs want to see me again in the Cplus offices. But I'm doing the news, damn it. And next up,
final agenda of the news. Wicked Vic, the weed from the Insane Clown Posse, is out now. Oh, yeah. Physical copies and digital copies. Wherever you listen to the Insane Clown Posse, you should be getting Wicked Vic, the weed. Look at the Wicked Vic. He's so good. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Whoop, whoop, ninjas. Go get your Wicked Vic, the weed, out now. And the first seed from Yum Yum. So go get yours now, digitally, or get your physical copy. That is it for the news. All right.
All right, y'all. I hope you're enjoying the Sexy Ninja Cast so far. We got another special guest this week. Introduce yourself, good sir.
I'm Magnificent T. You might know me, you might not, but just getting started.
You should know Magnificent T. Man, I'm getting all crazy today. We're gonna have a great interview here coming up. I'm ready to do this. Also, you're gonna get a great song to play us out after this interview. Can you tell us about the song and how you came about it?
So it kind of was like, so the person on the hook, Kyle Bent, I've listened to him for a while. So I got the feature. I had that feature because I have tons of beats and, stuff just sitting on my drive and everything. So I had that, and it was something that I was going to write to, a while ago. Certain things, I'll start to work on or I'll start to share ideas for, and then, I'll put it to the side for a while and then I'll maybe come back to it. So my plan was to come back to something like that when it was the right time. And Gmo was dropping an album. So he was also doing features at the time because he was trying to get more money and stuff. And, I've been a fan of Gmo Ski for years, before he was even signed to Twisted and everything. So I hit him up and I was like, okay, that's a perfect opportunity. And I got that. And obviously I've been a big fan of Scribble for a while. So I've been wanting to do a song with him. So I hit him up last. And then, I got Gmo's engineer to mix and master it. Just to make sure, it came out to everyone's liking, because everybody has different preferences. So that's pretty much how that came about.
Yeah, and the song definitely goes hard. So everybody's in for a treat when you guys hear the song at the end of this. You guys can get your ears banged, gang bang. That's what's going to happen to your ear holes when this freshness drops. So what got you into music?
So my family's been big into music. It's runs in my family. So like I grew up on classic rock, old school hip hop, like LL Cool J, Beastie Boys,
the good
whole
shit.
ton of stuff. Yeah. No, I grew up on older music, real rock, real hip hop, that's the stuff my mom was into. So like, but I didn't really get into music per se till I was 13. And the artist that made me want to get into it was Eminem. That's when I really started branching out, because I kind of tried things and I tried learning instruments and it just wasn't my thing. So Eminem was first, and then, I got into NWA, and then, the year after that, or closer to the end of that year, I got, really into horrorcore too, because my brother introduced me to that because he was really into ICP and stuff. So that's kind of how I got to know about it.
Yeah, man. When you said Eminem, it reminds me of when I started. I don't rap or make music as much, or not really at all anymore. Eminem was one of those figures when I was coming up. Like my uncle's he's a DJ, so he DJs down in Phoenix and whatnot. And he introduced me to hip hop real hard. And, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, of course, and LL Cool J,
yeah.
Beastie Boys, like you said. And I remember Eminem was one of those MCs that came about. And I was like taken back just because being a Native American from the reservation, born and raised on the res, and seeing somebody who dominated, black culture, dominated hip hop in that way, it gave me hope as this little brown kid. I was like, holy shit, I can get into the game like that, and that's what my mindset was. I was just like, oh shit, this white boy can, is this dope and whatnot, and he can do this. Oh shit, I can do this too. And that I just love Eminem. I still love Eminem, even though through the ICP beef and whatnot, I was still bumping Eminem. What would you say he's one of your biggest influences?
I would say he's probably number one because that's what really made me get into it. Because I'd have to give that. I love a lot of old West Coast, especially '90s West Coast hip hop. I just like the sound because I'm not. One thing about East Coast is I've never been a big fan of the old school sound of it. I don't know. I feel like it's just musical preference. I like some East Coast music, but like when it comes to like the sound, I really like the old school with the synthesizers, G Funk, and I'm a big fan of Tupac too. I like Nas. I love Nas.
Oh yeah.
I like a few Jay-Z songs. I've just never been huge into his music, but I like, obviously I have respect for every older artist that made the game what it was. I've watched movies, documentaries, read stuff, so I'm really into the genre.
With the list of MCs he dropped, what do you think of Kanye and all this crazy shit he's going through right now?
Damn, so I didn't really get into his music until later on. And really until I moved out of my parents' house like a couple years ago because like the perception around him after a certain point once he was like, with Kim Kardashian was like, oh, this dude's crazy. Like every time you heard about him in the news, it wasn't really because of his music. So I didn't really check him out like that unless you were like really looking. I don't really look for like I don't really look on the charts and stuff for music because most of it just isn't stuff I'm into. So like mainstream media isn't something I pay attention to a lot. But I got into his music and like when I started thinking I watched like a small like documentary thing on YouTube about his one of his album actually no two of his albums 808 and Heartbreaks and My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, I love that
And
album.
oh yeah. Dude, I've been really into his music since. I was like, this dude is just, I mean, obviously everybody's got their issues, but I was like, this dude is really talented, and he actually was one of the biggest influences into what hip hop sounds like now. So I'm like, despite all the crazy shit, I mean, like I said, that's his personal stuff. I'm able to put that to the side, unless it's something like, really, really, really bad, that I have personal feelings about. But yeah,
Well,
no, he's a great artist.
it's like, I grew up. I was very young when College Dropout, his first album, dropped. Fucking, I love that album so much. Like, and then he went experimental throughout the years, and everything that's going on with him now. I'm just like, man, someone needs to check on this dude mentally, man. Like, he went from a big shit, especially after his mom died. And he just went into this like this crazy, like, that new album Donda 2 is like only on his platform. You got to pay $200 to get the album or
Yeah.
whatnot. And the last album I didn't care for, but it's crazy when artists get all, like, man, I wish if I was what was he, Yeezy now or whatever, like if I was like, man, the balls to be like, yo, you got to pay $200 for this album to get this little thing to play it off of and whatnot. And I already know the album's online already. Like, people, nothing can stop that.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, I want to touch on this because you are part of the OG group of when I started doing these reviews. This is about a few years back when I started actually doing music reviews, and there was a group you were a part of, Operation Underground. What came about the split, and also, I appreciated you guys giving me love in the beginning when I started doing reviews. You guys would always send me something, or there'll be like a show we're doing where we're like, hey, we want to feature some music of yours, onto our platform, because I really thought you guys were super talented, and I didn't want to know what happened.
Yeah, so I mean, do you want to know how the duo started too?
Yeah, man, like just
From
lay
like
it
the
on me,
start?
man. Lay it on me,
Yeah.
brother.
So originally when I got into music, I was more of like I was more gonna try to do like, solo stuff. And this was like back in I think yeah, we started in 2018. It was kind of fast. Everything just kind of happened real quick. And we and him did music years prior to that. A lot of it, obviously, when you're first starting out, you're not that good and stuff, and you know how things go. But so I was like, I turned my old room into like a home studio. So and at the time, Xander wasn't doing music, um, and I was kind of wanting him to get back into it. And then he decided to, and then we started off with the Mad World EP, and we recorded the first 4 songs I think within like a month. Because a month prior to that, or 2 months prior to that, like I was going through a lot in my personal life, and I got back into the music, and I dropped like 2 solo singles. One I had done for a while, and then another one was fresh, recorded pretty much, and it was about something I went through with somebody. So it kind of just spiraled into that and the momentum of everything. And our first EP did pretty well, and so we just kept it going, and obviously like we had differences in sound, but like it kind of meshed together well. And after like I would say like and then the Conflicting Sides EP was that was a big one because we kind of mixed genres. So it was kind of like it was experimental, but at the same time it was like still like hip hop mostly. Because I'm like much more of a hip hop head than my brother. He's more into alternative stuff than I am, especially at this point in our lives. And you know and then eventually I got into the mixing side of it. I started doing more for production, and then we just started doing singles, and all that stuff. We had creative differences over time. I would definitely say that. I think every group, every band does. Obviously, we had different opinions on business stuff and everything. Um, but I didn't really think it was gonna fall apart, if I'm being honest. Like I kind of felt something was changing, but like I didn't really think that. And this was like, over a year ago. We dropped a song with Buckshot and Lex, and that was really dope, and that, had a lot of momentum. And then we dropped another single, and then we had like a couple more songs that were either almost done written. We had stuff planned out pretty much through almost throughout the rest of the year. And um I kind of sensed that we weren't in the same space. So I talked to him about that. And I'm not really gonna get into too much of what
Oh
he
yeah.
was doing at the time, because that's for him to talk about. But like I felt like our goals just, I guess, weren't in the same place. And he kind of wanted to take a break from what I remember. And I was just like, I want to keep going. And there was an issue, and I felt like I kind of had the rug pulled out from under me and stuff, because I, you know, was obviously loyal to the duo. That was my main priority. I wanted to get back into releasing some solo stuff, but that was going to be, like a secondary option. And every opportunity that came about, if it wasn't for both of us, I would turn it down. Or if someone even contacted me, I'll be like, hey, here's this dude. This is what I'm doing right now. This is the duo. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? So like, um, and if the opportunity there still wasn't there after they checked out the duo or whatever, if they weren't interested in both of us, I would usually turn that down. Um, but yeah, no, it was just a whole bunch of stuff and complicated stuff, and obviously I was really upset about it and dropped the song. And then all because that was the only way I could really take it out. That's part of the reason why I do music, is because it really helps my depression and stuff. So when I feel something, when I'm going through something, usually I write about it. And sometimes if that ends up becoming a song, it becomes a song. And I felt, really hurt. And after a few months went by, I'm also the kind of person where I eventually just kind of let stuff go. And I'm at this point in my life where I'm just like, like I just want to have peace. I'm tired of having issues with people, and I just want to, reach my goals and stuff. And so I did reach out to him a couple weeks ago. I was told through somebody that he just needs more time to think about it. So I was like, all right, but I just wanted, I guess, make it known that, like, dude, I'm down to sit down and talk so we could maybe put stuff to the side. Not that we're, I want to work together because, that isn't what I'm expecting out of it. Just more because, I don't know if everyone knew this, but, he actually is my older brother. So it's my family. And so it makes it, more personal and stuff. So that's I'm tired of having issues with anybody, but especially family. Like, you should be able just to at least get along. And that's kind of where everything went with that. Just kind of touching up on it.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Like, I think it's funny. It's like it goes with this podcast here, the Sexy Ninja Cast. We originally had a podcast called The Social Vent. We dropped it every Friday, or Saturday. It was a Saturday or Friday. Well, we dropped it every week, and it was me and Big Daddy. We're brothers. We're still brothers to this day. He's doing his thing, Big Daddy Forever podcast. I'm doing the Sexy Ninja Cast. And I remember when we started, like, it happens, man. When you're working with somebody, even somebody you love and somebody that you're grinding with, it just becomes something of, like, kind of clashing heads, and you guys kind of, you really don't see eye to eye and shit like that. And we decided, like, yo, I don't know what you want, and vice versa. And it's just like, what should we do? And then we just decided, like, yo, let's pump the brakes on the Social Vent. Even though we did this show for 5 years, and once we pumped the brakes on that, did the final episode, and it hurt. I'm not gonna lie. It hurt for both of us because we were doing the show for 5 years straight, man. Never missed a week. Never, always talk shit, and that was the whole point of it. It was two brothers talking shit and making people laugh, and we stopped just because we didn't know what the Social Vent was anymore. It just became this thing of, like, okay, well, where are we going with this? And so after we did that, he went and started doing Big Daddy Forever, and he really found his voice, found his stride in it. Then I started doing this, and I was like, and now we're both at a place of peace. We'll eventually come back together for the Social Vent. Like, we're saying never say never, but I get what you mean by saying, like, when two people don't see eye to eye on the prize. And you got to, like, focus on yourself and, heal yourself first. Cause I truly believe, like, you just need to invest in yourself because there's nobody else is going to do it besides you. And that's what I'm hearing from that story. And I got to tell everybody out there that's listening, go check out the Operation Underground stuff. Like, man, that's just some good shit, man. And that, like I said, these guys, like, you guys were the OGs when I first started, man.
Yeah.
And we've been writing ever since, and that's why when I saw the split, I was like, damn, I was like, but never say never. That never say never.
Yeah, I mean, it was ugly, and like I said, both sides were not like perfect. Like, one person wasn't, like, perfect about how it was handled. That's definitely it. So to me, it's like, like, I definitely think there was things I could have done better. Or, if I could go back, like, I'm not somebody where I like to, hang up on regret all the time, but, like, is you got to kind of keep it moving and heal and try to control what you can control. But there's a lot of stuff we went through during the time. We had arguments, obviously. Like, I kind of had, like, a drinking problem for a bit, and kind of like a pill problem a little bit. So I had to get help for that, and I went through that during the time, and just doing stupid shit in that time too. And he was still working with me, so you know what I mean. So, like, there was a bunch of stuff that I think we both went through during those times, whether it was like personal issues or stuff together. And then I ended up moving out of the house a couple years ago because I got in a relationship and I'm happy with the person I'm with, and I moved out, and that was also because I was in a relationship, but also it was also where I was living was not good for me, so I was like I need to be on my own. So then I was still going up to the studio out there, every because he lives outside of town, so I was going up there like every week to help him record. And I mean, no, I mean it's good that he's recording. Like I don't wish people pain. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like one of those people. You want people to learn from things, but I don't wish him like to, hurt himself or like or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. Um, and like I haven't really checked out his music at all, um, but no, I'm at this point where it's just I mean, if there was a way we could sit down, even if it was on here, like in person or whatever, like he knows where I live, I know where he lives. Um, there's public places, like I just kind of messaged him just to at least let him know because I didn't know if he heard it from me, it would be different, or if he heard it from somebody else. Because originally I just wanted him to reach out to me first when he felt like he was ready. But that's part of the reason why I took initiative. Because also I'm moving out of state later this year. I've been wanting to relocate for a few years. So once I'm gone, I'm gone. And that was another thing that encountered an issue with us where I wanted to relocate, not only for personal reasons, because I don't like where I live, and neither does my girlfriend. But so we've been wanting to do that, but also it's an opportunity. There has been no luck with us having opportunity with music out here. It's kind of a dead scene, and then the scene that does exist is kind of exclusive. And if you're not accepted, like it's very hard. So you got to kind of go where you can branch out. So that's another reason why relocation was on my mind for a while. Was like, if I really want to make it, I have to take that risk. I got to do that. Because if here's not the place to start branching out like in like an in-person area to start doing shows and stuff, then it's somewhere else.
For sure, man. And and I'm saying this publicly, I will support both of you. I will still, most definitely keep grinding with both of y'all, and hopefully I'm sending positive vibes out there. Hopefully it gets resolved because, like I said, you guys are truly talented. I saw that from the get go, and I hope, and I'm throwing those vibes out there again, that it all kind of just gets fixed. And what you said about the scene, I understand that completely, man. When I live in Flagstaff, Arizona, and there's a scene out here, but it's more alternative, like this and that. There's really not a Juggalo scene, that nature. But when I came up here, moved from the res, I recorded an album, and girlfriend, wife now, she helped me press this like CD together. It was like my actual like shrink wrap the thing and made a sticker for it, all this other stuff, and shopped around locally. And I was like, man, I'm gonna blow up. Nah, that didn't happen. That wasn't the case, And it's one of those things where we're very limited here as well as a scene in general, and that's what podcasting came into my life. Like that's when I was like, well, fuck, I love hearing myself talk. I love shooting the shit with anybody. So this is where I found my niche. And, I think for you, that should be the case where you relocate and you find that scene, you find opportunity, because opportunity ain't going to come to you. You got to go to it,
Yeah,
and
and I'm
that's
not gonna
the biggest
wait.
thing. Yeah. But besides music, what other hobbies or interests do you have?
So I was just funny thing. I was just doing this yesterday. So I love basketball. I was me and my brother are actually born in Denver, but we don't really remember it. But we still have a lot of family out there, like our whole father's side's out there. Um, and I've been wanting to take a trip out there. So after I move, I probably need to take a trip. I thought about moving back there. Speaking of, but I'm a big fan of the Denver Nuggets. Um, became like I was always a fan of like I've been a fan of NBA basketball for like years. I love playing it. I'm a hooper. I can shoot. So I was just out. I was just at the gym yesterday playing some games. Had a good day, but so that's pretty much my only hobby, despite lifting weights. But that's more just something I just love doing too. So I mean, basketball is like the only hobby I think I really have at this point.
Oh yeah, man. I was on, let's see, the basketball team, middle school, bench warmer, hardcore bench warmer, because I
Oh man.
sucked, man. I sucked, and I always tell everybody. I think I was talking to Bales last week about it. Man, I respect the hell out of basketball players, especially like bam, 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 bam. It's a constant cardio sport, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm a huge football guy. I love football, but football, at least you have first down, second down, third downs. You can catch your breath, even though it's still an intense game. And I'm a big fan of professional wrestling, but that takes a lot. But basketball, I would say I slowly got into it about a couple years ago, and it was during when Golden State. Am I saying that right? Golden State got into the NBA Finals for like the billionth time or some shit like that.
Yeah, them against Cleveland.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I watched that. I watched the finals for that, and I had fun. Like I was just like, you know what? Let me try this basketball thing out. And I watched. I was like,
Yeah.
it gets intense too, man. Like when you get into the sport, you're like, boom, 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 boom. You're like, oh shit, oh. But what future plans? Not plans. What future projects do you have on the way? And right now, this part of the interview is I give you the floor. You can tell you what's dropping and also where to follow you. I'll have that in the description below as well, so they can go check you out. The floor is yours. Plug away.
All right, so I've been ahead on my music for a while, so I actually have music planned out throughout the rest of this year. No, not another project. The project was what I dropped recently. And I kind of dropped that kind of Joyner Lucas ADHD style, where I wanted to be able to promote every song like a single that was on it, because I wanted every song to get that spotlight. Um, so I have new music coming. Not gonna like really release a release date right now because I'm promoting my project, but um, probably throughout the summer, all the way through the rest of the year. That's where I have my releases planned. I was kind of feeling one beat, so I did record an extra one for like next month. It was just a quick song, but that one's probably gonna come out next month, and I'll announce that. Um, and my Instagram is at Magnificent T Music. My Twitter is at Magnificent is T. I changed it to that, a couple years ago because of branding purposes. And my Facebook, just Magnificent T, or you could send me a friend request, just in James Gonzalez. And that's pretty much it. I got music out on every platform.
Most def, man. And thank you for this. This was fun, and clear the air about a few things. But I'll have you on again. You're more than welcome to come to the Sexy Ninja Cast. We could kick it. We could talk whatever we want to talk about. It doesn't have to be just music, or we can talk about whatever.
Yeah. No, this has been a great opportunity. I thought about it because I was like, well, I saw your NinjaCast episode with the Ramrock, so that's kind of how I knew the structure of it already. And I was like, okay, and I've listened to the social event because at my day job I do Instacart shopping, so like I listen to music, or sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, and sometimes I'll listen to like a Denver Nuggets podcast. Other times I'll turn yours on, whether it's a song review or some usually longer episodes is what I try to go for. So I've listened to your podcast on Apple Podcasts for a while, so I kind of knew the structure before even doing this. So I kind of thought about it because I was like, oh, we haven't talked, and like if he has any questions about things, because I didn't really, the duo wasn't really announced being departed, so I was like, it was a lot of personal stuff, so I didn't want to come out and do that, and It was nice being able to talk to you, and it was really fun being on here. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm down to come on again. If you're friends with my brother on Facebook. If you want to tell him, like I'm down to sit down and talk or whatever, like
Oh,
if we could do it on here.
fuck. I want to become the Dr. Phil of fucking the podcast waves here. That's what I'm gonna do. But no, thanks, man. Like in the Ramrock, that son of a bitch walking off my show like that, But yeah, dude, like we'll see. We never know what the future holds, man. We never know what the future holds. And thank you for listening to our podcast and stuff like that. And we're gonna keep rocking these. The Sexy Ninja Cast drops every Sunday for everybody out there listening. Go check this ninja out. He's gonna bang your ears. And the song, what is this? I'm gonna have you introduce the song that's gonna be playing here.
It's To the Sky featuring Kyle Bent, Gmo Ski, and Scribble, and your boy.
Ooh, you ain't ready. You ain't ready. All right, y'all. I'll have the link in the description below for all the plugs, so you can go support, show some love. Then after that, you're going to like and subscribe. You're going to share it with your grandma, share it with your grandpa, share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and
this is Magnificent T.
And remember, stay sexy, ninjas. Whoop, whoop!
Whoop, whoop!
I'm the last motherfucker you talk about. I'll chalk him out, go to the funeral, drag the coffin out, and toss it down a small canal. Watch the fucking carcass bounce, spark an ounce, and walk around town with the largest smile. Boy, it's Gmo, the motherfucking arsonist, pulling up to your pool party, lobbing a fucking shark in it. My squad is quick to drop a diss and backhanded compliments. Your bitch looked like J-Lo when she was on Eric Cartman's fist. The next person I spar against better guard this shit, cause I'ma throw the hardest hit and knock his ass to Mars with it. Phil.
They can never really track the way we move. Devil horns with this life, we groove. Touch the heavens with the mic when in the booth. And they can never keep us down to stars we shoot. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going to the skies. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going.
They call me Scribble Barkowitz, and yo, I came to market, bitch. The first to spit a verse and hit reverse like sugar murderers. The start, a lot of turbulence, and perfect and it's permanent. Who burst in it? The person that you hate, watch how I murder shit. Annihilate a fire flows, deep in the mind, the virus grow. A violent soul, the side so cold, I came out spitting icicles. Product of the mind control, a murder for the government. Eradicate these animated rappers, that's the punishment. Assassin slay, they got a shit.
They can never really track the way we move. Devil horns with this life, we groove. Touch the heavens with the mic when in the booth. And they can never keep us down to stars we shoot. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going to the skies. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going to the skies.
Yo, I'm back to Sensi Gang. Turn this up and let it bang. Let me show you how I do my thing. Watch this. If you fuck on me, I'll let it bang. Tear body up and let it hang. Watch it move just like a swing as I eat some chicken wings. I'm in the mood to do some things in my groove. On the mood to shoot some pigs. And now I gotta buy some wigs so I won't get caught and locked inside a fence. So I get rid of all the evidence. I can't let it win.
They can never really track the way we move. Devil horns with this life, we groove. Touch the heavens with the mic when in the booth. And they can never keep us down to stars we shoot. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going to the skies. We on fire, we going with highs. We on fire, we going to the skies.
Welcome to the wicked shit.